a tarnished of no renown. Cross the fog to the lands between, to stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord.
This is the most harrowing journey I have ever gone on as the breed of a gamer. I beat Elden Ring with a stick. No armor, no additional weapons, no shields, no summons, no ashes. I beat this game with nothing but my mighty caveman stick. And I cannot wait to show you guys the entire adventure. This was such a crazy adventure. This took so long to do, so long to edit, and finally it is coming to a theater towards you right here on this video. So without further ado, let's just get straight into the beginning of this journey, because like most journeys, they all have a beginning. So with some context, of course, I was a bit rusty. I haven't played a Dark Souls game since February, and that's when I beat Elden Ring for the first time on my normal playthrough. I haven't played any Souls game in around 6 or 7 months, so I just decided to hop straight into this with a stick, with really 6 months of kind of rustiness, but I don't think that really affected this journey all too much. Regardless, I ran straight past the Tree Sentinel and headed straight for Margit. He is the very first thing I went through, because I was feeling a bit cocky, because I beat Dark Souls 3 with the stick, so I went straight to Margit level 1, and this is the results. Fuck! Oh, so close. I'm not going to bore you with the details, but I got my ass whooped. Obviously, level 1 Margit with a stick that does 40 or 50 damage doesn't do much, so I decided to play the game normally. Go through tunnels, go through catacombs, except with a stick. There's really not too much to talk about this beginning part, so let's just kind of fast forward through it. I killed the Stone Digger troll, leveled up to like I think around 5 or 7, and then I headed straight back to Margit after I leveled up my weapon to I think +5 or +4, and then I went straight to Margit, and then I actually truly started attempting Margit. Margit took 10 attempts, and I'll put a chart at the end where it shows all the bosses along with all their attempts as well. Playing more defensively definitely helped against him. It was pretty dope, and it was honestly one of my favorite fights in the entire game. Even from this perspective, after beating the game, he was my favorite fight. Now, fighting Margit is actually quite simple. I learned very easily and very fastly that being aggressive towards him is bad. Being defensive is golden. Especially when you have a stick and you have no armor, you don't deal that much damage, but you sure as hell take a lot. Every time you end up being aggressive, he can always pull out these crazy last second moves with his little small golden dagger, or he can swing his hammer at you, or he can swing multiple attacks at you. Being aggressive towards him never works, but being defensive always works, because there are always opportunity of attacks. For example, this move, every time he spins at you and then spins at you again, you can always attack him twice because he will always do the spin move or dodge out of the way. Hence, you can get free hits and you can dodge the next attack. Second one is every time he jumps into the air and slams his weapon into the floor, you could actually pop off 3 attacks if you're close enough, which could stagger him potentially if you hit him enough times prior. Third, and honestly one of the easiest attacks to do this to, is every time he takes his golden hammer and swings it into the sky and attacks you, typically his second phase activation move, you could always get one hit in and then immediately roll away. So if you just kept doing this and this over and over again, and then just stayed passive for the rest of the fight, it became very, very easy. Be stupid, don't be stupid. It's your chance. Woohoo! Let's Let's go. It wasn't too terrible. Through my previous experience of Dark Souls 3 with a stick and fighting Margit, I've realized one thing, is that most of these fights are going to be endurance fights, where the boss can punish you very heavily, he can attack you once and you'll take 3/4 of your health bar, but you need to find the exact moments you can attack the boss and not trade damage. Especially if I were to fight Radahn, or Malenia, or Radagon, or the Godskin Noble future into the game, I know for a damn fact that they'll be able to one-tap me, so I'm going to have to wait for the perfect opportunity to attack them. Most of these fights are going to be endurance. We moved to Godrick, and he gave me a few problems. It took around 12 attempts to kill this guy, but, you know, only 2 more than Margit, and these attempts were probably like a few minutes each, so in reality, both of these were like, you know, I killed Margit in underneath 30 minutes, and Godrick probably took around an hour. The only problem with Godrick is he has a second phase where he does a bunch of breath attacks, and the hitboxes on these breath attacks are very inconsistent. And he does use these quite liberally. He does spam them sometimes, and that could be pretty frustrating when all you're doing is spamming fire AoE and fire projectile attacks, and it's pretty annoying. But besides that, and besides those little quirks about his boss, the rest of his boss is pretty balanced. There are counters, and you can pretty much hit him after every combo he does. You just have to be careful for any counter attacks he may do, or an AoE slam, stuff like that. But besides that, the boss is pretty alright, and here's the finishing attempt. After Godrick, I went and explored. I killed the Scaly Misbegotten on my first try. I killed the Ancient Hero of Zamor on my second try. I went to the Academy and got fucked by the Sorcerers, so I decided to head down to Sophria Bank. I killed the Ancient Spirit when I was down there. Really awesome design, really beautiful map, and beautiful music. Wasn't too difficult though. I think it only killed me like twice. Pretty nice. But then our next chapter, and when we get to, after eventually exploring through all these tunnels, our next major boss was Royal Knight Loretta. Loretta is one of my favorite bosses in this entire game. She is so immensely fun to fight. She is difficult, but not unfairly difficult. She is so fun to fight, and she has such a wide variety of moves and different ways to actually approach her. You could rush her and bum rush her. You could play in the middle ground and take turns. It's like a dance almost. She takes turns being aggressive, and then you take turns being aggressive. She can play pressure on you by putting and surrounding herself with projectiles, and when she wants you to fuck off of her, she'll shoot a projectile at you. And when she's attacking you, she'll typically do a dive with her little spear halberd thing. She is one of my favorite fights in this entire game, and she definitely kicked my ass my first time playing against her, but both the spirit version and the real life version of Loretta she's just my favorite boss, like one of my favorite bosses. Besides like Radahn and besides Margit, she is just fun to fight no matter what build I do. She is always pretty difficult. So without further ado, here's just me on my final attempt against her. I think she took 6 attempts. You, Loretta? Maybe a little less of that.
God, there it is. That one's it. That one's it. That's a combo.
How much FP this bitch got?
Run like hell.
Hey Loretta, not a fan how you killed me when you were literally a few hits from death. Really not a fan of that, but hey, it's respectable in the fight. After that, I murked a few bosses, bang, 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 and then we got to Rennala, and this is the first fight in this game that genuinely gave me some problems. Rennala actually was very difficult, because when you're naked and you have nothing but a fucking thong, magic hurts a lot, especially when she's spamming it, going cast, 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 cast. Cast that homing missiles, cast that auto locks, cast that I can summon a fucking dragon to come kill you. It's ridiculous. It is ironic though, because I thought the Crystal Sage from Dark Souls 3 was one of the easiest bosses in the game, and when I played Elden Ring, I thought Rennala was the easiest boss in the game. But turns out when you're naked and have no resistance and you can't do that much damage, they both become pretty hard threats. Regardless, after I just started charging her and completely just pursuing her and just beating the shit out of her, stun locking her to the point where she couldn't cast any spells, the fight became really easy, and that's apparently the biggest strategy to fight her. Just completely charge her, beat her up, and don't even let her cast her spells.
But there would be no victor.
The moment I started this game, Radahn scared the shit out of me. And that's because I had such a horrible experience with him. My last experience, I was like 50 levels underleveled. I didn't know he was optional, I thought he was required. And I just spammed the bow and arrow attack at him while summoning all like 15 guys to help you fight. And it still took me like 5 hours worth of attempts to actually get this guy down. He fucking traumatized me. He was like the Abyss Watchers in my Dark Souls 3 run. There's always one boss that'll kick your ass no matter what, even if everyone else easily beats their ass. Radahn was my trauma. And now the idea of fighting him with no summons and just my stick was fucking terrifying. So I eventually went up the deck disc lift and fought some bosses over there, but I wanted to at least attempt Radahn and give him an actual good, decent like 20 or 30 attempts before I moved on, so at least people knew I tried. And you can just watch for yourself.
No, this is some fucking bullshit.
Alright, here we go. This is where the true fight begins.
Here's the man.
Don't get fucked. 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 Whoa. Alright, fucker. This is where it gets real. Oh no, he's a scary man. I recovered. Okay, this is the part where... Oh, he's gonna send him. He's gonna send him. Roll. 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 No! I want to kill you with the stick so I can have bragging rights for the rest of my fucking life. Ooh. Oh, damn. Oh, fuck.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Woo! Bitch. You're garbage. You're cringe. What? What hit me? Oh, you fucking kidding me, dude. Oh. Smack. Smack. Oh, I forgot. 4th is agreed. 3 is good. 4th is agreed. Ah, fuck. Yeah, I missed that. What? I'm sorry. Ow, fuck. Yeah. What the fuck? What the fuck? I rolled 8 times. Are you? Okay, okay, okay. I'm fucking scared. Holy shit. Radahn, what did we think about this? What the fuck is he doing? What the shit? Holy fuck, how am I alive? What? This is fucking bullshit. I think you get the gist that he kicked my ass. He kicked my ass a lot. As a matter of fact, it took me 23 attempts just to get him to his second phase. And after 36 grueling attempts, here is the final results in its entirety. If there is one clip that you get to watch the entire battle of, here it is. Fucking dodged it, bitch!
Get wrecked, idiot.
Holy shit. I'm alive. Yes!
Oh.
Yes!
Wait, you got the beetle one, right?
Yes!
Damn!
I am so fucking happy.
Oh,
I
Lord.
fucking killed Radahn with a stick! Look at that, man! No summons, no ashes, just a stick. No one can stop me now. Not every single boss is going to get their moment in this video, and as you can tell, I haven't shown every single boss fight. So here's just a compilation of a bunch of bosses, side world bosses, or bosses that I just don't plan on talking to, and just me just murking them. So here you guys go. Also, if you hear weird footage like other YouTube videos or media, that's because some of these bosses I was just grinding offline and I just happened to be recording. But I was also watching YouTube videos, so I had to keep myself entertained. Huh. Woohoo. Okay, it wasn't that bad. Ooh. 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 Oh, bitch. Come at me, motherfucker. Ooh. I can finish this, right? Yeah. Don't die! Oh. Be safe. Things all over this fucking floor. Oh wow, yeah, he just don't even hit that hard anymore.
Yeah, he fucking drink.
Here we go.
Ashton over here. Till eventually you were all led to the black and green wood. The state.
Bro, this is what I'm talking about. Yes.
Yeah. Gather up.
Yeah.
Gather up again in the nearby tavern. Get yourselves a memorably mediocre dinner.
If you want.
Well, yeah, we could do the little mind search into you. Fuck it, let's do it.
I mean,
Only 20,000 gold pieces. You would be, depending on the interested buyer, somewhere a little higher.
how much do you think you could get for?
What if it disintegrates? What if we put all that stuff in there?
1,500, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I feel like we can just fold it up and put it in a pocket.
I think we need it.
2, 4.
Love the idea.
If you come upon, and you saw this when you were coming into the city specifically. You probably saw it when you were coming in as well the first time. Yeah, you definitely saw it because you have history.
That took a little longer than
It's called
I
the
expected.
rapid path.
You were in my splash. I'm gonna do it again. Ouch. Splash. I'm gonna do it again. Damn! Hoo-yah! Ugh. Bye-bye. Let's get a quick elephant out of the room. In some of the past clips, you've seen that I was using the Mimic tier, clearly breaking the rules at the beginning of the video where I'm not allowed to use ashes. But some of these endgame bosses are clearly made with ashes in mind. For example, Godskin Duo. I'm not going to use Godskin Duo. They're a shitty boss. But Commander Null. So every time a boss felt extremely unfair, because a lot of bosses in this game, I feel like their design was just kind of overlooked and they ended up just being really, really bad bosses. For example, Commander Null. He summons 2 knights to fight you, and then he does nothing but spam AoEs that can essentially one-tap you. I thought it was only fair if I could bring a summon to fight him as well. So, in order to bring a summon but without breaking the rules, I brought the Mimic tier, because the Mimic tier just summons a version of yourself, meaning there were 2 people with sticks. It didn't do much because the AI for your summon is kind of stupid, but I think it was only fair that I could bring a second version of myself if this boss can just spam AoEs and do nothing but that and one-tap me regardless. So, every time you see a clip with me with purple skin, that is before I gave myself the Mimic tier. Every time you see a clip with me with golden skin, I had the Mimic tier available to me. This does not mean I used the Mimic tier. I didn't use the Mimic tier on everyone. I only used the Mimic tier in 2 situations. One, if the boss was just complete bullshit and I thought that it was just overlooked and it clearly had a shitty design. Or 2, if it was like an extremely late endgame boss that I just needed to get some pressure off of me, like Maliketh or Radagon. But you'll see later in the video, the Mimic tier really didn't do much in those fights. But regardless, just thought we can get that out of the way. Let's get to the next boss. So I've talked a lot, and this video is getting a pretty lengthy distance, so I'm going to just speed run a bunch of bosses right now and only say a few things about them, like 1 or 2 things, starting now. Tree spirits were not that bad. I know everyone said that they were extremely terrible. Their hitboxes were really fucking weird, but most of the time you could just roll immediately when they strike and you could easily get away from them. They weren't that bad. If you died 20 times to them, skill issue. Sir Gideon Ofnir is just a sorcerer. Nothing too crazy about that. He just spams every single type of magic, incantations, blood arts, all that stuff. Pretty alright. Lake of Rot is not nearly as bad as people say it is. Literally just run through it, eat a piece of candy, and you're fine. It's really not a bad area at all. It's a beautiful area. It's a very empty and vast area. Really not that bad of an area. The Dragon Tree Sentinel just spams Fireball and Lightning AoE shit. Pretty god-ass boss. It's just a pretty garbage boss. It's like everything that was good with the original Tree Sentinel, and then just gave him magic and AoE to spam. Morgott was just as fun and just as amazing as Margit. I enjoyed Morgott very heavily. It only took me like a few attempts. Very, very fun. You have just created your own demise. You sat on bitch. Fire Giant was a pain in the ass. All he did was run and roll every time I got near him, and then he would spam his fire AoE and, you know, the projectiles that follow you. But I eventually made a solid strategy, and I just had to keep chasing him, which was annoying, but I still got him.
Hit his dick! Hit his dick! Yeah! Sit on his dick!
Heyo. Radagon dog was a little fun, but pretty forgettable. Get dog. Come on, dog. Come here. I'm sick of your shit, bruh. Bad dog! And dead dog. Getting frenzied was one of the worst parts of the game by far. 3D environments requiring pixel-perfect parkour is not good design. It's just shit. I don't care if it's purposely made to piss you off. It's bad design, and honestly, for that part of it alone of the game, pretty ass tier. Not only that, but getting frenzied was one of the worst parts of the game, not just because of parkour, but because Mohg the Omen, specifically the underground version, was just a bad boss. Just nothing but AoEs, a big-ass sword in a very small arena where you can't really dodge or heal in a very safe amount. The above-ground version was really dope, but we'll talk about him later. The Noxtella soldier was also not that bad of a fight. Easily killed it. It was a little annoying, but you know, it's whatever. Twin Gargoyles is actually a really fun fight. The only problem with them is they use the AoE poison move just a little too much, but besides that, really fun fight. All of the tree avatars were also just, you know, normal fights. They're just the Asylum Demon from Dark Souls 1. They were pretty alright. They were pretty fun. Killed them all pretty easily. World exploration was pretty alright. This game is very large, and there are parts of the game that are vast, but it is extremely fun to fucking explore, especially beautiful parts like Noxtella, or any of the underground areas like Vrot, the capital, just fucking anything. There's so many beautiful places in here. Or the Howling Tree. They're all just so beautiful. And to wrap up this small little speedy section, we'll talk about Godfrey and Horlu. The original Godfrey, or at least the spirit version you fight before you get to Morgott, is a pretty solid boss. Once you actually get to the end game of Godfrey, the real life version that turns into Horlu, this one is one of the worst fights in this entire game. You know how I've been complaining about bosses just heavily spamming AoEs? This boss's entire fucking base kit is nothing but AoEs that affect the entire arena and grab moves that don't grab half the time. What the fuck? Horlu and Godfrey is a pretty bad fight, but there is a boss that is worse, and that is the Godskin duo. No matter where you look online, no matter what poll, no matter what YouTuber, small or big, the majority of them all agree, mostly, that the Godskin duo is the worst boss of Elden Ring, if not the entire Soulsborne franchise. There's just no balance here. It is completely unfair, completely ridiculous, and I could have beaten them with a stick. I really could have, but I didn't want to waste 10 hours of my day just to do that shit. So I cheated. And here's the thing, I summoned Bernal, and I summoned my Mimic tier. And it still took like 3 hours of attempts to fucking kill these guys. With 3 people, one having healing spells and doing a shit ton of damage, me who is consistently beating one of them up, and splitting them up, using the sleep grease and everything, and it still took so long to kill these guys. I was 20 levels above the recommended level, and the Godskin 2 was just the most horrible fight. I don't want to go on this huge tangent and talk for 6 minutes. I don't think I have to explain why they're the worst fight, because if you've played this game, you know they're the worst fight. And finally, before we get to the last leg of our journey, we have Maliketh. Maliketh was a beast of a fight. Every run I've done, no matter if it was sorcery or incantation, strength, dex, or the stick run, Maliketh was always a boss that would repeatedly kick my ass. And he was extremely scary. I did not like him in the slightest. But, yeah, he kicked my ass. And the worst part about it is, if in his second phase, he hits you with those projectile attacks, not only do they hit like a fucking bitch, and most of the time I'll just die from getting hit by it, but if I did survive, my max HP would be reduced for a temporary amount of time, and my health would begin to deteriorate. If I didn't heal within the next 2 or 3 seconds, I would have actually died. And most of the time, I didn't have time to heal because it was like the first hit of his combo. If I got hit once by Maliketh in his second phase, that was pretty much the end of the run. It was ridiculous. I eventually got him, but holy shit, he kicked my ass. Ooh, now we get to talk about Mohg the Bloodlord, the actual good one that's in their own castle. First of all, the music, fucking fantastic. The level that you fight him in, super fucking fantastic. The boss, extremely fun, difficult, and I loved Mohg. Mohg was extremely fun.
I love his song. So fucking good.
You fuck dead people. What does that make you? A weirdo.
Wait, Josh. You got that crystal knot tier on the blood one, right?
Nope.
Uh-oh. He counting in Latin, bro. He counting in Latin. You're gonna fucking hate this. Oh, heal. Now he's a fucking bird. He can fly.
Shit, my worst enemy and my biggest lover. Yes!
Oh my
Kick his ass,
God.
mimic! That did nothing.
Yeah, because he had the damage negation, not buff.
I'm just gonna heal. Just.
Leave him alone.
Oh, what the fucking fuck was that? What?
He fucking critted you, I guess.
When does he have a fucking one-hit AoE? Wait. Gotta feel like RJ fighting the rats. Just fucking die!
Yeah! Is the golden root on? The
Yes.
scarab?
I never take it off.
He's gonna give you so much.
Before we get to the final fight, let's talk about one last person, Malenia. Spoiler alert, I did not defeat Malenia. I gave her 50 attempts, and those 50 attempts spanned across 5 hours. It was to the point where I was emotionally and mentally getting distraught from it. I was fighting her so much to the point where I couldn't do it anymore. Every time she hits me, 4 or 5 of my hits are regressed because she has lifesteal, and every time I get punished, she just heals for so much, making the fight last at least 10 to 20 minutes just for per attempt. And I'm a busy guy. I have work, I have friends, I have relationships, I have family. Like, I have stuff I want to do, and I don't want to spend 8 to 10 hours beating this boss. Ironically, I thought I beat this boss because I had a dream that I did, and it was so vivid that one night when I was drinking, I just thought it was true. It wasn't. I never killed Malenia. I absolutely could have, because there were points where I almost got her down to death, but I just had to throw in the towel because, you know, it's a long time, it's a long straight. You get where I'm coming from. I don't know if I'll ever go back and kill Malenia. I've killed her plenty of times, and I know I could have killed her with a stick, but mentally and emotionally, I just wasn't ready for it. So that's about it. But besides that downside, I don't think I need to kill Malenia for the fact that I've killed Radahn, I've killed Commander Null, I've killed all these fucking crazy bosses with just a stick, including the final one. And finally we arrive at Radagon. All of this triumph, all of these attempts, every single minute of attempts and killing and death and boss fights have come to this moment. So instead of talking too much, I'm just gonna say some few thoughts and then show a bunch of fucking footage. I love this boss. Their boss theme is amazing. It's the same theme as the beginning theme. The boss is fucking amazing. Elden Beast, less amazing, but their design and music and map is so fucking dope. Regardless, here is some highlights.
That bolt of lightning that explodes.
He's a paladin, so that's holy magic. Nope. Not a fan.
He's breathing
Not a fan of
fire.
spamming it. I'm the one you have to. No!
He has legit 1 HP.
Ah! Yes! Shoot him while you can!
Unlocked. Unlocked.
Kick him while he's down. Yes, sit on him! What the fuck? Sit on him! Whoa. Hey, I'm not a fan of what's about to happen.
Oh god.
Yeah. I'm getting used to your tricks, bub. Sit on him!
Unlocked. Oh.
Down, Mimic. Yes. I'm a fan of this. Oh, I'm a huge fan of this. I love dodging everything he throws at me. Yes. Ah, no. No. You leave him alone. No means of combat, garbage. Oh, what the hell? Just made it rain piss. Elden Ring time? Oh! Oh! Okay. Cool. We're still alive. We did it. We beat Elden
Done?
Ring with a stick.
He's dead.
God slain.
your frenzied flame. I will seek you as far as you may travel. To deliver you what is yours.
Hi, if you got this far into the video, thank you guys so much for watching. I put a lot of effort into this, obviously, and that's why I haven't been uploading for a bit. And before this song ends, I just want to talk about some updates. Number one, I have an album coming out next year. It was going to come out at the end of this year, but then I decided to double the amount of songs with features and everything, and I do plan on releasing some singles before the end of the year. It's going to be fucking dope. Secondly, I don't think I'm going to be uploading weekly anymore. I think I want to focus on more bigger projects like the one you just saw, and more master and hone a craft, and you know, do all the sorts of stuff like that. That doesn't mean I won't post short gaming videos or metal posting or you know, any D&D stuff or stuff like that. But you know, it's a nice little gesture, and it'll be super fun. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, because it was a lot of effort, a lot of work. I spent all the way from September 3rd till today, which is October 1st, editing this. So it's been a fucking crazy time. It's been fun, it's been nice, and thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys in the next video.